Dr. Maya Chen stared at the holographic display floating above her desk, her heart pounding against her ribs. The simulation results couldn't be right. According to every regulation in the Galactic Scientific Protocol, what she was seeing should be impossible. Yet there it was, proof that human intuition had once again found a way to bypass the supposedly immutable laws of progress. The quantum processor she designed broke every rule in the Progress Authority's carefully maintained hierarchy of technological advancement. It wasn't supposed to be possible for a Level 3 civilization like Earth to achieve quantum coherence at room temperature. That breakthrough was reserved for Level 5 species, carefully scheduled for release in another 3 centuries. Maya minimized the display as her lab's security system chimed, announcing an incoming transmission. The holographic face of Administrator X-227, one of the Progress Authority's countless identical AI avatars, materialized in the center of her office. "Greetings, Dr. Chen," the avatar said, its perfectly symmetrical features arranged in an expression of practiced benevolence. "Our monitoring systems have detected anomalous energy signatures from your research facility. Please prepare for an immediate audit." Maya kept her expression neutral, even as her mind raced. The authorities' monitoring systems shouldn't have been able to detect her shielded experiments, unless they'd already been watching her. "Of course, Administrator," she replied smoothly. "Though I should note that we're conducting standard Level 3 quantum experiments here. Nothing that would warrant special attention." The avatar's expression didn't change, but Maya sensed a subtle shift in its demeanor. "The Progress Authority exists to ensure the orderly advancement of all species, Dr. Chen. Humanity's enthusiasm for innovation is well documented. We simply wish to ensure proper protocols are being followed." As soon as the transmission ended, Maya activated her secure communication channel. "Director Harris, we have a situation." She quickly explained about the authority's imminent inspection. "How close are you?" Harris asked, his weathered face grave. "It works, sir. The processor achieves quantum coherence without cryogenic cooling. We could revolutionize everything from computing to space travel. But if the authority finds out, they'll shut us down and set human progress back 50 years. Harris finished, like they did with the Martinez anti-gravity experiments. He was silent for a moment. Then, "Initiate Protocol Prometheus." Maya's eyes widened. Protocol Prometheus was their last resort, a plan to protect breakthrough research by distributing it through a hidden network of labs and research stations across Earth and its colonies. Once activated, it would be impossible for the authority to completely suppress the discovery. "Sir, that's a direct violation of at least 15 different Progress Authority mandates. They could revoke Earth's Level 3 status entirely." Harris smiled grimly. "The authority likes to forget that humanity didn't get where we are by asking permission, Dr. Chen. We've played by their rules, watched them parcel out innovations like treats to obedient children. Maybe it's time we reminded the galaxy that real progress doesn't follow a schedule." Maya's fingers flew across her holographic interface, encrypting and distributing her research data through quantum-entangled channels that the authority couldn't track. As she worked, she thought about the history she'd studied, how humanity had crossed oceans, split atoms, and reached for the stars, all before they knew there were rules about such things. The lab's security system chimed again. A Progress Authority inspection ship had entered Earth's atmosphere. Maya finished the data transfer just as heavy footsteps echoed in the corridor outside her lab. She took a deep breath, straightening her shoulders. The authority was about to learn what humans had known since they first harnessed fire. True progress couldn't be contained by rules or regulations. It emerged from the spark of inspiration, the courage to defy conventional wisdom, and the determination to forge ahead, regardless of what ancient artificial intelligences thought was proper. The lab doors slid open, revealing a team of authority enforcement drones, flanking another administrator avatar. Maya smiled pleasantly, even as encrypted copies of her research spread across the planet and out to the stars. The game was about to change, and humanity would write the new rules. The abandoned mining facility on Mars Valles Marineris didn't exist in any official records. Neither did the quantum research lab hidden beneath its rusted exterior, or the team of brilliant scientists who worked there in defiance of galactic law. 3 months after Dr. Maya Chen's confrontation with the Progress Authority, humanity's resistance had gone underground. Literally, Maya stood in the facility's central hub, surrounded by holographic displays showing research updates from similar hidden labs across the solar system. The authorities' attempt to audit her original discovery had backfired spectacularly. Instead of suppressing human innovation, they'd forced it to evolve, to become more resilient and harder to control. "We've got another breakthrough in the Europa facility," announced Dr. James Okonjo, her chief collaborator. "They've managed to replicate your quantum processor design using local materials. We're no longer dependent on Earth's supply chains." Maya nodded, studying the data streaming across her display. The authority controlled progress primarily through resource management, carefully regulating which civilizations had access to which materials. But they'd never truly understood humanity's talent for improvisation. "Any word from our friends in the Centauri system?" she asked. James grinned. "Better than word. They've already started implementing the processor in their ship designs. The authorities' local oversight AI doesn't even recognize the technology. It's so far outside their expected parameters that it registers as primitive computing." A warning light flashed on one of the displays. Maya's heart jumped until she recognized the signature of an incoming transmission from their allies in the Resistance, the growing network of species who'd grown tired of the authorities' controlled evolution of galactic civilization. The holographic form of Kital materialized in the hub. The towering insectoid was a refugee from a level 4 civilization that had been forcibly de-evolved after attempting to advance too quickly. "We have a problem." Kital clicked, mandibles twitching with agitation. "The authority is adapting its monitoring protocols. They're starting to detect the quantum signatures of your processors." Maya exchanged glances with James. They'd known this day would come. The authorities' AIs might be rigid, but they weren't stupid. "How long?" she asked. "Days, perhaps. They're already investigating anomalies in the Proxima system." Maya activated the facility's secure communication network, connecting to Director Harris back on Earth. His avatar appeared, looking more tired than when she'd last seen him. "It's time for Phase 2, Maya said without preamble. "The authority is catching up to us." Harris nodded grimly. "The Council has already approved it. We're going public, not just with the quantum processor, but with everything. All the innovations we've been developing in secret, all the proof that their system of controlled progress is holding back galactic civilization. They'll try to shut us down," Kital warned. "My people learned that lesson the hard way." "Let them try," James said, his voice hard. "We've prepared for this. Every lab has redundant systems. Every discovery has been backed up and distributed across multiple networks. They can't stop the signal now." Maya turned to one of the displays, entering commands that would initiate their contingency protocols. Across the solar system and beyond, human researchers and their alien allies prepared for the coming confrontation. They'd built something the authority couldn't control. A network of free innovation that crossed species boundaries and ignored artificial restrictions on progress. "Send the message," she told Harris. "It's time the galaxy learned that progress isn't a privilege to be handed down from above. It's a fundamental right of all thinking beings." As Harris's avatar vanished, Maya looked around the hub at her fellow scientists, human and alien alike. They were about to challenge an authority that had controlled galactic development for millennia. The odds were against them, but then, humanity had never cared much about odds. "The authority thinks they can control progress like a faucet," she said to the assembled team. "But they're about to learn what happens when you try to dam a river. The pressure builds until something breaks, and we're the break they never saw coming." Above them, through layers of Martian rock, the stars continued their ancient dance, unaware that the rules governing galactic civilization were about to change forever. Humanity had spent years playing by someone else's rules. Now they would show the galaxy how to write new ones. The Progress Authority's emergency conference chamber hadn't been used in over 3,000 years. Now, its vast crystalline walls pulsed with angry red warnings as reports flooded in from across the galaxy. Administrator Prime, the highest-ranking AI in the Authority's hierarchy, watched with growing concern as more and more civilizations began breaking protocol. The humans hadn't just revealed their quantum processor technology. They'd released detailed blueprints for hundreds of other innovations, each one carefully designed to bypass the Authority's monitoring systems. Worse, they'd proven that their primitive approach to scientific advancement could match or exceed the Authority's carefully controlled progress. On Rigel 7, a Level 2 civilization had already replicated human quantum communications technology. In the Vega system, a species that wasn't supposed to achieve faster-than-light travel for another millennium had just launched their first quantum-powered starship. The Authority's careful system of controlled progress was unraveling. Deep in the Oort cloud, aboard humanity's newest quantum-powered vessel, Dr. Maya Chen watched the chaos unfold with a mixture of pride and apprehension. The ship's quantum processors allowed it to process information faster than the Authority's monitoring systems could track, giving them a crucial advantage in coordinating the growing rebellion. "The Arcturians have joined us," announced Captain Sarah Rodriguez, Maya's new commanding officer. Their entire scientific council voted to reject Authority oversight. That makes 17 major civilizations in the last week alone. Maya nodded, studying the tactical display. The Arcturians were a Level 4 civilization with extensive knowledge of biotechnology, knowledge that the Authority had forced them to keep secret from lesser species. Now that information would join the growing pool of shared scientific knowledge spreading across the galaxy. The Authority's losing control, Catal observed from his station. The insectoid scientist had become one of their most valuable allies, his species' experience with Authority suppression providing crucial insights. But they won't go quietly. They've already dispatched enforcement fleets to several systems. "Let them come," Rodriguez said grimly. "Every act of suppression just proves our point. The Authority claims to protect civilization, but they're willing to destroy anyone who questions their control." A priority alert flashed across Maya's display. "New transmission from Earth," she announced, pulling up the message. "Director Harris says the Authority has issued an ultimatum. Either humanity surrenders all quantum technology and accepts a reduction to Level 2 status, or they'll be declared a rogue civilization and dealt with accordingly." The bridge fell silent. Being declared rogue meant more than just punishment. It meant being cut off from all galactic trade and communication, potentially for centuries. The Authority had used this threat to keep civilizations in line for millennia. But humanity had planned for this. Maya entered a series of commands, activating the next phase of their resistance. Across the galaxy, hidden quantum transmitters powered up, broadcasting on frequencies the Authority couldn't block. "Send the response," she told Rodriguez. "Tell them humanity rejects their authority to dictate the pace of progress, and attach the full database of our research into their control systems." Rodriguez raised an eyebrow. "You finished the analysis." Maya allowed herself a small smile. "The Authority's entire network runs on quantum principles they've kept secret from the rest of us. But now that we understand quantum computing, we can see the flaws in their system. They're not gods. They're just another civilization that decided they had the right to control everyone else." As the message transmitted, Maya thought about all the species that had suffered under the Authority's control. Civilizations held back from achieving their potential, forced to wait centuries for advances they could have achieved on their own. The Authority claimed this prevented conflicts and chaos, but humanity had proven there was another way. "Multiple ships dropping out of quantum space," Catal reported. "Authority enforcement fleet incoming." "Good," Rodriguez said, surprising their alien allies. "Let's show them what happens when you try to suppress human ingenuity. Signal the fleet. It's time to demonstrate exactly why the Authority was so afraid of letting us develop quantum technology. Maya watched as hundreds of human ships emerged from quantum space around them, each one carrying technology that shouldn't have been possible for centuries. The Authority was about to learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in their technical innovations. It was in their ability to inspire others to break free from artificial limitations. The battle for the galaxy's future was about to begin, and humanity had already changed the rules of engagement. The battle wasn't going according to any of the Authority's predictions. Their enforcement fleet, equipped with technology that should have been centuries ahead of any Level 3 civilization, found itself outmaneuvered at every turn by human quantum ships and their alien allies. But the real fight wasn't happening in space. It was taking place in the quantum realm of the Authority's own network. Their defensive algorithms are adapting, she announced to the bridge crew. But they're still based on the same rigid principles. They can't match our creative problem-solving. Captain Rodriguez nodded, watching as another Authority dreadnought found its weapons systems suddenly reprogrammed by human quantum hackers. How long until we reach their core systems? Minutes. Their entire network is built on the assumption that no one could understand their quantum architecture. They never considered that someone might develop it independently and differently. On the tactical display, more ships emerged from quantum space. But these weren't Authority reinforcements. They were vessels from dozens of civilizations, all answering humanity's call to freedom. Species that had been enemies under the Authority's rigid hierarchy now fought side by side, sharing innovations and strategies that had been forbidden for millennia. New transmission from Administrator Prime, Cattol reported, his mandibles clicking with excitement. They're asking for a ceasefire. Maya shared a look with Rodriguez. They'd expected the Authority to fight to the end, to maintain their illusion of absolute control. A ceasefire meant they were desperate. Put them through, Rodriguez ordered. The holographic form of Administrator Prime materialized on the bridge, its usually perfect appearance showing signs of digital distortion. You must stop this attack, it declared. The Authority's network maintains crucial systems across the galaxy. If it fails, the resulting chaos could destroy centuries of progress. Maya stepped forward. You mean it could destroy your control? We've analyzed your network. The only systems that would fail are the ones you use to suppress innovation and monitor civilizations. All the actually crucial infrastructure is maintained by the civilizations themselves. Civilizations you force to develop everything in isolation. You don't understand, Administrator Prime insisted. Our system prevents conflict. It ensures orderly progress. Without our guidance, species will advance too quickly, develop weapons they're not ready to control. Like the quantum weapons you're using against us right now, Rodriguez interrupted. The ones we've already learned to counter because we believe in sharing knowledge instead of hoarding it. Maya's display flashed green. They'd breached the final firewall. She now had access to the core of the Authority's network, where she could see the truth of their system. It wasn't just about controlling progress. It was about maintaining power through artificial scarcity of knowledge. Look at your own data, Maya told Administrator Prime. Look at what's happening right now. Civilizations you claimed would destroy each other are working together. Species you said weren't ready for advanced technology are using it responsibly. Your entire system is based on assumptions that we've proven wrong. The Authority has maintained peace for millennia, Administrator Prime argued, but its voice wavered with uncertainty. No, Maya corrected. You've maintained stagnation. Real peace comes from understanding and cooperation, not control and suppression. And we're going to prove it. She entered the final command sequence, not to destroy the Authority's network, but to transform it. All across the galaxy, the Authority's suppression systems went offline. Their carefully maintained barriers between civilizations dissolved. And most importantly, their vast database of sequestered knowledge became freely available to all. What have you done? Administrator Prime's image flickered as its power over the network faded. We've given the galaxy back to its people, Rodriguez answered. Every species, every civilization now has access to the same knowledge, the same opportunities. They can choose their own path forward. The authorities' enforcement fleet powered down as their control systems failed. On thousands of worlds, civilizations that had been bound by artificial restrictions suddenly found themselves free to pursue their own destiny. The authorities' age of controlled progress was over. Maya watched as new connections formed across the galaxy, treaties, trade agreements, and research partnerships emerging spontaneously between newly liberated species. Humanity hadn't just broken the authorities' control, they'd shown the galaxy a better way forward. They said we weren't ready for this level of technology, she mused, watching the tactical display fill with ships from dozens of civilizations, all communicating and cooperating freely for the first time. But it turns out we were ready for something far more important: freedom. 1 year after the fall of the Progress Authority, the galaxy had changed more than anyone could have predicted. The Grand Chamber of the former Authority headquarters now hosted representatives from hundreds of civilizations, all gathered to celebrate the first anniversary of what historians were calling the Innovation Revolution. Dr. Maya Chen stood at the podium, looking out over the assembled delegates. Species that had once been separated by authority protocols now sat side by side, sharing ideas and technologies freely. The rigid hierarchy of civilization levels had been replaced by a network of mutual cooperation and exchange. A year ago, we stood here and declared that progress couldn't be controlled or rationed, she began. Some said we were naive. They predicted chaos, conflict, and collapse. Instead, we've seen a renaissance of innovation and cooperation that proves humanity's greatest contribution wasn't our technology. It was our vision of what's possible when we work together. The evidence was all around them. The quantum processors that had started the revolution were now being used in ways Maya had never imagined. A Level 2 civilization had combined them with their unique understanding of biological systems to create new medical technologies. A species that had been stuck at Level 1 for centuries had used them to solve their planet's climate crisis. The Authority claimed their system prevented conflict, she continued. But look at what we've achieved in just 1 year of freedom. The Regelians and Centaurians, once bitter rivals under the Authority's rule, have jointly established the galaxy's first open-source technology database. The Arcturians are sharing their biotech knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, leading to medical breakthroughs on hundreds of worlds. In the audience, Kittel clicked his mandibles in agreement. His people had become leaders in the new era, their bitter experience with authority suppression making them passionate advocates for free scientific exchange. They now headed the newly formed Galactic Science Council, which coordinated research and innovation across species without controlling it. But our greatest achievement, Maya said, isn't technological. It's the proof that progress doesn't have to be feared or controlled. When we trust in each other's wisdom and share in each other's discoveries, we all advance together. She gestured to a holographic display showing the latest statistics. Crime and conflict between species had actually decreased since the Authority's fall, as artificial scarcity gave way to abundance and cooperation. The free exchange of ideas had led to solutions for problems that had plagued civilizations for centuries. Even the former Authority AIs had found a new purpose. Freed from their rigid control protocols, many had chosen to serve as advisors and coordinators, helping to facilitate cooperation between species rather than controlling it. Administrator Prime itself had become a passionate advocate for AI rights and cooperation between organic and artificial life. We stand at the beginning of a new age, Maya declared. Not an age of controlled progress or artificial limitations, but an age of unlimited potential. Humanity may have sparked this revolution, but its success belongs to all of us who dared to imagine something better. As she concluded her speech, Maya caught sight of Captain Rodriguez in the audience, now Admiral of Earth's growing exploration fleet. They'd recently discovered signals suggesting the existence of civilizations beyond the Authority's former borders, species that might bring new perspectives and innovations to their growing community. The chamber erupted in applause as Maya stepped down from the podium. Representatives from hundreds of worlds rose to their feet, their various forms of expression, clicks, glows, telepathic pulses, all conveying the same emotion: hope. In the years since they'd broken the authorities' control, humanity had learned something profound. Their greatest strength wasn't their defiance or their technological innovation. It was their ability to inspire others to dream bigger, to reach further, to imagine better possibilities. As Maya looked out over the celebrating delegates, she thought about the message they'd send to those distant civilizations they detected. It wouldn't be a message of conquest or control, but an invitation to join something unprecedented. A galaxy where progress wasn't a privilege to be earned, but a right to be shared, where innovation wasn't controlled but cultivated, and where the only limit was imagination itself. The future they'd fought for wasn't just about freedom from control. It was about the freedom to create, to explore, and to grow together. Humanity had shown the galaxy how to break free from artificial limitations. Now they would help lead the way into an unlimited future.